I don't know. Did I tell you the story about how I asked another human being to have an adult play date this week? Did I tell you that story?
You have not told me that story.
Okay, cool. I've got a good story for you to begin. It's story time, baby. So I've been going back to jujitsu, Muay Thai, judo, right? Uh, and actually, I've got a double story for you because I think I told you about the huge dude who showed up to sparring the other day, right?
I think, yeah,
Did I tell you about that? Okay,
a
so
little bit.
two things happened at Muay Thai on Saturday, which was really great. Like I've loved getting back into this community and like, just punching each other, kicking the crap out of each other, having a good time. But like respectfully, right? Like these are the rules. We're learning combat. We're helping make each other better at this. So like I just love the space. I love doing that. I've been doing a lot of jump rope. I've been doing a lot of like conditioning training. I'm getting back down to like what I would call my competitive weight, which for me is like closer to 185, 190, which it ends up looking very thin on me, because like I can get up to 215 and be like a pit bull of a person, or I can like shrink down to like 185, 190 and be like a runner, like a gazelle. But I've been going back and first I ran into this guy, Grayson. Have I told you about Grayson?
Maybe.
Super impressive dude, like always doing cool body lifts, really into functional training, just awesome stuff. And I've never known how to approach him and just like ask to like hang out and like work out sometime because it's his job. He's a professional trainer. He takes care of people. He's on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Like he's all over training, like giving people tips on training, picking up new clients, and he runs a gym out of his house. Called I think Basic Strength. But so he's just really awesome, impressive dude. Looks like a Viking, and I've always wanted to just like hang out. We've crossed each other's paths a few times. We're always like running across each other, but never like properly linking up. So then on Saturday, I just walked up to him and I was like, "Dude, all right, brass tacks. Like, I don't need a trainer, obviously." Like I would love to do some like workout with you though. Like, so here's how I want to ask this. Would you like to have an adult play date? And he was like, oh, hell yeah, dude. Like,
That's
which was
awesome.
great. It was like the best react. I was like, because you never know how somebody's going to react. And I think a lot of times before you ask something like that, you can like talk yourself out of it. You can psych yourself out and be like, no, that's weird, but like,
Yeah.
I just led with my best foot and was like, this is the best way I can pitch it. Like, if you're not cool with that, or if you don't have a lot of time, if you're training people, like that's fine. But like, I just wanted to say, hey, I think it would be cool to like work out, hang out, and be friends. And he was totally down with that. So that's really cool. And then at the same Muay Thai sparring session, because I've been going in for sparring on Saturdays, which has been great because like either Donnie or Kelby runs it, and like we just do 2-minute rounds. So you're like, you're going anywhere from like 50 to like 90% sometimes, depending on who you're against. Like really just kind of pushing yourself, putting the work in, trying out some combos, some positioning, some footwork, stuff like that. And this guy comes in this Saturday. First off, we had like the biggest class we've ever had for sparring, which was awesome. But then this guy comes in and the whole room shifts around this dude. It was like an anime moment. Like the dude comes in, he's 6'6" easily. Like he might even be taller than that. 300 pounds, he told me after the fact, and has had 23 professional fights under his belt. Now, I don't know him.
You did tell me that.
Yeah, okay, so I don't know
Yeah.
this guy when he first walks in, but I can feel everybody else sensing how much they don't want to spar with this guy. And he brings in another guy who's named so these guys are Josh and Chad, and Chad's training for a fight, and I think Josh is like his trainer, like he's like one of his bros, but like also kind of he's the guy who'll be in his corner like when they announce him, right? So Chad's training for a fight. Chad's pretty jacked. He and I are about the same size. And like we do some good training, like we're hitting each other, throwing some good combos, some kicks and stuff. And he's obviously like leagues beyond me because this is only my third time sparring, maybe like eighth time doing Muay Thai. And I've got some decent instincts, but that doesn't make you good, And in my brain, when I see this guy, and like I'm like, oh, okay, he's just here to like train, obviously, because he's like talking to these other guys and he hasn't done anything yet. Then he goes and puts on pads. And he puts on gloves, and I was like, oh shit. this dude's here, like this big guy Josh is here to not F somebody up, but to spar. And my brain was like, okay, you can avoid him like this entire time. There's enough people here. You can go and spar with anybody else and just avoid him. Or, and this is where like I have two sides of my brain. I have this side that's like, okay, you can avoid him. You don't really need that right now. Be easy on yourself, like, whatever. And then I have the side of my brain that's still very much programmed for, maybe that's exactly the reason that you need to go and spar with this guy right now, right? So, like, that side won out, and my impulsive brain, like, I don't want to call it impulsive, but my brain that sees a challenge and is like, we have to do the challenge. I'm like, all right, I'm going to spar with this guy next round. So I spar with him next round. This dude, Odie, I swear to God, he didn't even hit me full on. And he got me with a really nice right hook to the face. And I have never been hit so hard in my life. Like, I straight up, like, usually, like, if I take, like, a punch to the face, I'll kind of, like, shake it off, maybe make a noise, right? This dude hit me so hard, I held up a glove and was like, all right, 1 second. I was like, hold on, man. I'm going to need, like, 30 seconds from that. That was a lot. Well, we were just talking about anime. Like, I was throwing, like, jab combos and level changes on this guy and actually throwing, like, pretty good punches because, like, I was feeling him out at first and doing some taps and stuff. But then I started putting a little weight into it, and I think that's probably why he clocked me in the face. But, like, even putting weight into it as, like, I'm at 200 pounds right now. Even putting weight into it, like this, he didn't even move. Like, it was like punching a tree, like, Jesus. and then just all of a sudden one of the branches that like maybe had like, 300 pounds of force behind it just came and clocked me. And I was like, okay, wow. All right, sweet. I was waiting. But it was like a lesson that I didn't know I needed. Was like, hey, by the way, you might be like, okay, and you can spar pretty decently with all these guys and you haven't been hit in the face hard yet. Get ready, right? Like, it was a nice reminder.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it.
I think that's the only way to look at it. Like, sometimes life is gonna punch you in the fucking face, man. Like,
yeah, that's more like life like held you down, put on brass knuckles, and just went at you for a minute. But like, to each their own, Kev. To each their own.
Yeah. Well, I chose the brass knuckles, Odie. All right. You ready to clap?
Yes.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Speaking of hitting your own face.
I have both hands today.
Oh. Odie.
I'm here.
You do the intro this time.
Welcome back to On the On Pop Podcast, a podcast potpourri of fun times and weird shenanigans that some might call it one long comedic yes and bit. I am your co-host, Odie Matthews, the chef cooking up content they, them. With me, as always, is the other co-host,
Kevin Miner, el capitán todo siempre en esta barca. Kevin Miner, he, him. Loving it. That was a great intro, Odie. You crushed it. You're going to get promoted if you keep crushing things like this. It's going to be great.
I can't wait. Speaking of promotions, can we pause for a second?
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by silence. This episode is brought to you by 15 seconds of silence.
Okay. Do you want to, how do I resync?
All right, yeah, let's clap again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, perfect. So, Odie.
I'm here.
I thought... When you said, hold on a second, I legitimately thought you were going to start reading off ad reel.
I can.
So then I just paused, and then I was like, this podcast is brought to you by 15 Seconds of Silence. And I thought that you picked up on the fact that I was referencing ad reel, and then you started talking to me about a real world thing and not something that exists in the fictional yes and land of this podcast. And it really threw me off. Like, I was like, wait, my brain had to completely like hit the brake, like not pump the brakes, slam on the brakes, change direction. Like, that was too much.
I kind of saw that in your eyes when I started talking, and you were like, wait, hold on.
Yeah. Well, and then I was, did you stop recording? Like, this sounds like something we don't record for, Odie.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. So, Odie, what are we covering in this episode of the podcast before I even edit last week's episode, because I've been like so fucking
at the time of recording.
Dude, life has been overwhelming this week. In good and bad ways, you know.
Yeah.
But
that.
definitely overwhelming. But here's what's good. Before we even get into what we're talking about, I got my Christmas shopping fucking done, dude. I get it done. All I have to do are write cards. And this is just like, I'm not going out of my way for everybody. I'm doing immediate family, right? I'm doing a couple people in the office. And then I'm doing a big, like, nice thank you letter to my boss, who's been amazing this year. And then I'm doing gift cards for Loxa Bagel staff, because they're just the fucking best. Like, they take great care of me. Every time I'm there, I have a great conversation or a nice experience, and like, they know my order. Like, I was like, they deserve more than just the tip money that I'm giving them. Like, they deserve a little extra thank you, especially this season. You know, like, I feel at home when I'm there. It's really great. So
that's good.
Yeah, so I got that out of the way, even though this week has been like absolutely crazy. And I'm even like, I'm a little, I don't know if you can hear, I'm a little stuffy. Like, I'm a little worn down. I'm tired. Like, but I'm doing everything I can to rally so that we can have a great episode.
I can tell you're a little worn down because you had me do the intro.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you can hear it, but like I said, super stuffy right here. I even had to like, I took today off already anyway, but I even had to like message some people who I would normally take calls from, even on a day off, and just be like, look, I'm not feeling good today. I'm not doing it today. Like, yeah. Thank you for like reaching out, or thank you for being in the office. Thank you for doing your job. Thank you for showing up. I'm not there. Like, and I can't. Yeah. What are we talking about?
Because I ended up with a lot of free time all of a sudden out of nowhere.
Woo!
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not free time, it's creative time. It's
exactly.
time for you to become
creative,
the YouTube and TikTok person you always were meant to be.
This is my chance to shine. Well, I figured it'd be fun because I told you that next year I want to go see a new movie every weekend. I'm kind of coming back. I usually do like a big year of watching movies, and then I take like a year or two off where I don't watch as much. And this is coming up on a year of time to get back into watching movies. So I figured it'd be kind of fun just because I know we both saw, I would say we saw a decent amount of movies this year. I know I did. I
somehow manage, as someone who does not go out of his way to consume a lot of entertainment, I somehow manage to, over the course of a year, see a lot. Yes. Or hear a very apt review of a lot of things and kind of understand the concept, because every story is just being retold, like, right?
Yep.
But like, but ultimately, like, hear an apt review enough to the point where like I wouldn't talk about it in depth, but I kind of have a sense of what it is, and if I go watch it eventually, I feel good about it, you know, like, so yeah, I would say, yeah. You probably watched a lot. I'm a consumer in that aspect. Like, I definitely went to the movies a dozen times this year. So yeah, hit me with it.
And so I will say that the first half of the year, January, we're just going to jump into this. I think January is pretty much known as like a dumping ground. Typically movies that people don't think are going to do super well. The big release in January was Megan. I didn't see that. Did you see that?
I did see Mithrigan this year.
Because, okay. We should also say,
like I said, Chloe likes spooky movies. We were talking about it. We ended up, so.
We should say we are ranking these just because we're going to go, they're either good, they're bad. So they're either more good or more bad, or we didn't see it.
Mithrigan was good. I mean, it was, it's the new Child's Play. Like, it's AI nightmare fuel slash a doll, right? And what's creepier than a doll that has like the built-in uncanny valley aspect of really looking as close to human as it could be? Yeah, she really does. And it's like just enough not human that it throws you off, and I think that sets an ambiance for the film that was really good. Obviously there's like the dance scene that everybody knows. And really, like, at the end of the day, they did a really good job of making it believable. Like, it wasn't like the doll didn't get possessed. You know, it was just like this. It was
doll just a robot,
is
right?
Built, yeah.
Just crazy robot.
And as its emotions developed, it got more intense. You know, because like who know, you know, like. You should watch it. It's pretty good. It's a good watch. It's not something like...
I'll see it.
Like I said,
it's on my
I wouldn't
list.
go out of my way to watch it again, but if someone was like, yo, let's watch Mithrigan, I'd be like, hell yeah. Also, I love that we're just calling it Mithrigan because of the Weekly Planet.
Oh, yeah?
Like, that is what it is.
What's the second? Megan, what's the sequel going to be called? Mithrigan.
Oh. No, it's gonna be a new doll called Morgan, but it's gonna be Morgan.
They're just skipping 1 and 2 and going straight to 3 and 4.
And it's gonna be androgynous, which will make it even scarier. Like you won't know if it's a boy or a girl. Oh no! Wait, maybe the boy, because you've seen the boy, right? The possessive doll. Like it's not just a doll that's possessed; it's possessive. Maybe the boy will fall in love with Mithrigan, and then they'll procreate.
Chucky,
and make
Bride of Chucky
Morgan.
style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where we're going. We're going into the creepy doll universe,
and then Seed of Megan, and then we'll do what's the other creepy one with the lady that rips out people's tongues? The puppet one where everybody dies. Donnie Dead
Wahlberg's
Silence.
in it. Dead Silence. And then we'll get Dead Silence too.
I hate that I know that movie.
Isn't already. No, that one's not bad.
No, but like the ripping out the tongues, like the idea of someone ripping out my tongue makes me uncomfortable.
Oh, and they made it look so gross.
Yeah, too. I know.
Yeah. It was so good. All right.
Other big movies that came out in January. I didn't see any of these, but the Gerard Butler Plane movie, Tom Hanks, A Man Called Otto, and
you know how I feel about Tom Hanks.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
And then Infinity Pool was another big one that I didn't see.
I did want to see Infinity Pool, and I haven't seen it yet.
Me either. I need to put that on my list of 2023 catch up. And then the Netflix movie You People, the Eddie Murphy. What's his name? Jonah
I did
Hill.
not see that.
Me either.
Intentionally. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff that we didn't see in January.
February.
Mostly intentionally.
February. Did you see Knock at the Cabin? M. Night Shyamalan?
No.
I did, and I would say bad.
Okay. Cool.
Because
that's all I need.
Yeah, but look, it has so much promise, and I think the concept is really cool. And I'm just gonna spoil it. It is the 4 people. It's Dave Bautista, and then I forget the other 3 people.
What a year for Dave Bautista,
dude! So he's great in it. And then it's got what's the guy's name from Hamilton, and also Mindhunter. Doesn't matter. Anyways, basically it's these 2 guys, and they have an adopted daughter, and they go to this cabin, and these 4 strangers show up, and they basically say like, you have to sacrifice somebody or the world's gonna end. And the symbolism is that the 4 people represent the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. But it's like legit. Like they don't kill anybody, they don't sacrifice anybody, and then the world ends. It's like a really like, it kind of goes. Did you see Cabin in the Woods?
Yeah.
It kind of goes that direction at the end, where it's like, oh, like because they didn't sacrifice the kids, like the gods are actually going to destroy the world. Like it goes that direction.
Okay.
But
that's
like
cool.
It's just not executed well.
Oh.
So,
well, then pass.
Yeah, and then there was Magic Mike: The Last Dance.
I've not seen a single Magic Mike movie, and that is not for like, it's not for homophobia reasons.
No.
Like I just saw it, and I'm like, that movie's not for me. That's okay. Like,
yeah, me either. I saw the first one, and I was like, I get this is supposed to be like a drama, but like I don't.
Yeah. Well, and then we already had Magic Mike, like in the 90s. It was called The Full Monty, and it was hilarious. All right, keep going.
Okay. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Did you see that?
Nope.
I did, and it was bad.
Actively skipped.
So I think that this is when I officially was like, no more Marvel for me. I did see the second Doctor Strange movie, and I watched a few of the Disney Plus shows.
Yeah.
But like each time I watched something after Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
Everything I saw after that, like I slowly became more like, no. And now I'm just like, not even a little.
Okay.
It was just bad. Like it was just boring. And then Cocaine Bear.
I did see Cocaine.
I liked Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear, good. Right?
It's fun.
The movie is the title.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Right? Like, and it's like they did it in a meaningful, believable way, and it just kind of and like the thrills are there, and that's all you want. It's a roller coaster, right? It's a roller coaster. Some movies are just a roller coaster, and that's how a lot of Marvel movies should be. They should just be a roller coaster,
like Martin Scorsese
where you go
said.
and watch it once or twice and call it a freaking day, right? Yeah. Well, and Scorsese wasn't wrong. Like I think he was like. I think he was misinterpreted because he was saying that they ruined cinema, and cinema, as anybody who gets really into entertainment knows, is very different from just a movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you wouldn't call Ant-Man Quantumania cinema. You would call it a blockbuster movie, or at least an attempt at a blockbuster movie, right? But it's not cinema. Cinema is like, Goodfellas. Like, I would even say Lord of the Rings it leans more into the cinematic side than the blockbuster side. Okay.
I think that's I think that some stuff is objective in what's cinema, and then some people you could be a little subjective. But I think superhero movies, for what the source material is, should be a roller coaster. But that also is just a personal opinion.
I agree.
And then, but Cocaine Bear, they took a really, like, one instance where a bear ate cocaine and died and turned it into a crazy story. And I enjoyed it.
Which is great.
Yeah.
That's fine. Do it. Yeah,
okay.
Why not?
March.
Yep.
Did you see Creed 3?
No.
I haven't seen anything since Creed 1.
Yes.
Did you see Operation Fortune, Ruse de Guerre?
No.
I did. It's Jason Statham.
Oh, of course.
It's a Jason Statham, Guy Ritchie film that got delayed multiple years because of the war with Ukraine. Ukraine's war with Russia, I should say, because the villains are Ukrainian in this. And at the time it was supposed to come out, obviously, like, it ended up finally coming out, and Guy Ritchie just kind of like silently put it out to streaming, and he was kind of okay with it. But I'll admit, I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's super stupid, but like, it's not like so bad it's good. It's just like, this movie knows it's stupid and it leans well into it. It's literally about like this evil guy it's Josh Hartnett, who I really like.
I like that.
Aubrey Plaza, Hugh Grant, Jason Statham, and basically Hugh Grant's the evil guy, and he's like, I love this actor Josh Hartnett's character, and so this American agency contracts Jason Statham and his team to infiltrate, but Jason Statham is kind of playing like a character from his character from Spy, Rick Ford, where he's kind of like, I ripped my arm off, beat someone to death with it, and sewed it back on, like like that kind of character. And so like, it's just, I'm gonna watch this today. Oh my god, I'm watching this again. Like, it's really fucking funny.
Okay.
I don't know if it's meant to be funny, but it's really funny.
Cool. Guy Ritchie films usually, like, they have a lot of serious beats that I think ring comedic, and that's that's a comment to how he writes. Yeah,
I believe. Yeah. Okay. Scream 6, I liked.
Saw, good.
I thought it was good. That's it. Not much to say about that.
It was good. It did a couple interesting things. The end kind of falls apart, but like, whatever. It's fine. It was good.
I mean, I kind of.
It's a franchise slasher film. Like, we're not expecting the moon on this.
Yeah, and I kind of wish that, like, because Scream 7 is pretty much dead now because Jenna Ortega, the other lead, like, nobody's really coming back. Yeah, and it's like, it's a bunch of stuff, right? And
Scream 7's just gonna be Matthew Lillard plugging all of his future projects and killing people.
So that's what kind of bothers me, is I feel like Scream 6 should have been the definitive finale, and they should have just brought back Matthew Lillard's character and had him been like the one that's kind of been orchestrating stuff. Like, I think
we talked about that.
Yeah. So anyways, the movie 65 with Adam Driver, did you see that?
Nope.
I did, and holy crap. From the writer of The Quiet Place, starring Adam Driver, about where he lands on Earth when the dinosaurs are still alive.
Oh, yeah. This is Turok the Dinosaur Hunter, but prehistoric times, Adam Driver style. Yeah, got it.
How can you miss this hard? This movie was so boring. It is so boring.
Isn't it just father-daughter issues, but prehistoric?
Pretty much. I mean, he fights like 3 dinosaurs the entire thing, and then it ends with the meteors that killed the dinosaurs hitting the planet as they're escaping. Yeah.
So none of it mattered.
No,
none of it mattered.
Didn't. No.
I think I think the Triceratops family had more drama in The Land Before Time than
Dude,
this movie sounds like it had.
Facts.
Yeah. All right, go.
Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Did you see that?
No, of course not. No,
of course not.
Is it DC?
Yeah.
Then no.
No, of course not. Neither did
Likelihood, no.
I. John Wick Chapter 4.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that.
Yep, that was good.
Good.
It's good. Roller coaster.
Kind
it's
of
fine.
ready for those
We made it
movies to be over.
Yeah, same.
But
But that universe isn't. We're gonna get all the. That's like Paramount and fucking quick tirade. Paramount, Amazon,
Peacock,
Peacock, Max, like all the companies that like had their global retreats at the end of last year were like, we're only leaning into franchises, which to me means a homogeny of material over the course of the next 2 years that I'm going to hate. So I have started buying books. To prepare for the lack of entertainment that's going to exist visually as far as stimulus goes. And I'm very happy that I started doing that now. I'm already really enjoying them. I reread Sun Tzu's The Art of War. I went finally back through Slewfoot and read it in one sitting recently, and that was great. I love Brahm. Getting back into like the more literary side of things, I think it does a lot more for you than just watching something. So, yeah.
I agree, because I tried to watch the John Wick show on Peacock, the Continental, and like I'll admit the dude who plays young Winston had me hooked, but the rest of it just like
it's falling apart.
I don't know, like I wouldn't even say it fell apart. I just like it was interesting to the point where I was like, okay, I like the episode I'm watching, but it ended and I'm like, I just don't know if it's interesting enough for me to keep watching.
Yeah.
Which is saying
maybe
something.
It's also meant for second screen viewing, which is a topic I'm sure is going to keep coming up more and more.
I mean, given the fact that I'm still watching Monarch, and I know, dude, the last episode was still bad, and I'm still watching. Anyways,
you know my rule. If it's bad, I'm dropping it.
I'll tell you
I'm
when
not
it gets good
wasting
again.
Episodes.
I'll tell you when it gets good again.
Just send me a highlight reel of the monster fights. That's all I want.
Got you. Here's a movie that I think we both liked: Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
Oh, brilliant! Absolutely great. Phenomenal. Loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
really
was
good.
a big fan.
Once again, it's a roller coaster. Have I watched it since? No. Would I watch it again? Yes.
I've seen it twice. I saw it in theaters, and then we watched it again at home, and I think it's good.
I turned it on when I was sleepy one day, but I don't think that counts as watching something. Like because sometimes, like I've watched Dune. Like if you count that, I've watched Dune like 200 times.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say I've watched a lot.
But really, I've only watched Dune like 50 times. You know?
Oh, only 50. Yeah, of course. Did you see Murder Mystery 2?
No.
Okay, me either. Did you see the Tetris movie?
No.
Okay, me either.
With
Taron Egerton.
Name? Yes, I do want to see that.
Okay, it's on Apple.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been meaning to see this movie and I haven't yet, but Air, the Ben Affleck, Michael Jordan, Nike Air movie.
The Nike product placement, the movie?
Yeah, that one. I haven't seen that yet.
I have not seen that yet.
Super Mario Brothers.
Yes.
We're in April now.
We talked about that. And I thought it was good. And it was a kids movie, and that's it. We're great.
It's good for a kids movie. I'm gonna say good just because for what it is, like you said, a kids movie. But
it's
I didn't
ages
enjoy it.
5 and up. Like if you hand me a board game that's ages 5 and up, and it's not the most mentally stimulating and thought provoking thing I've ever had, I'm not gonna be mad at it. You know, like
no, that's true.
Like it's like. If Pokemon, imagine if like a new Pokemon animated feature came out and people are like, it just didn't have the depth I wanted. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What does that even mean?
It's a movie where it's a movie about a universe where it's legally okay to have animals just fight each other. Like,
yeah, what?
This is like, what are you expecting?
Yeah, no, 100%. Oh jeez. Okay, we're in April. Renfield.
Brilliant. I loved it. It was so good. I thought Renfield was good. I thought it was a nice meta commentary. But the comedy was just silly and stupid. So I enjoyed both elements of it. I was like, good commentary, decent stupid comedy. That's all I was looking for.
I didn't like it.
That's fine.
Did you see the movie Ghosted with Ana de Armas and Chris Evans on Apple TV? I did, and everyone keeps saying it's one of the worst movies of the year, and they are right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
bad.
Well,
there we go. Apple TV.
Dude,
not. It turns out not all hits.
No, it's not, because like, how do you get Chris Evans and Ana de Armas, who like are two attractive, big, huge, like
Yeah.
just on top, and they have zero chemistry.
Ugh.
Uh,
Well, that's bad writing.
yeah. Did you see Beau is Afraid?
No, I've just seen the memes.
What is that? Isn't it Jacqueline Phoenix?
Jacqueline? Yeah.
Jacqueline?
Yes.
I haven't seen that yet.
Jacqueline?
Another Guy
Joaquin.
Ritchie film, The Covenant, the one with Jake Gyllenhaal. I didn't see that though.
Have you watched the new season of Fargo?
I have never seen Fargo.
You just unwittingly did a bit from the new season of Fargo, which is amazing, by the way.
Oh, cool.
But the John Hamm, who's like a very like Midwestern guy,
Hamm.
reads someone's name and says, "All right, well, Agent Jacqueline," and they go, "It's Joaquin." I was like, "Ah!" So you just did the same thing. Anyway.
Oh wow,
okay.
that was
Keep
on
going.
accident.
Yeah.
I know you saw this one, Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, great. Loved
I didn't
it.
see it.
Perfect. It was a perfect film, and there's not really like a twist in it so much as like when you get to the end and you remember the beginning, you're like, "Oh, cool." That's it. Yeah, it's really good. I liked it a lot.
I might eventually watch it.
It's dark, man. I mean, it's like everybody in that movie has problems. They're all family related problems. And then there's, evil spirits show up and they start fucking everybody up. It's great.
Makes sense. Okay, here is a movie that I don't know. I don't think anybody got to see, but it's called Sisu. It's I think it's either Norwegian or Swedish.
I haven't seen it.
It's a World War II John Wick style movie, and it is
Cool.
about a group of Nazis who crossed this farmer who struck gold, and he is I want to say he was like Swiss or sweet, like I can't remember what part of Europe he was from, but he was from like a smaller country. He was like special forces, and basically they like attack him and steal the gold and try to take off with it because it's like at the end of World War II, and he's like, nah, fuck that, and he just World War II style like fucks these guys up. And like John Wick 4 was good, and like the action's good, but I think this was a better John Wick movie this year.
So it's old man action revenge porn a la World War II Home Alone.
Yeah, but like I would say the old man revenge porn part of it though, like I would not get it mistaken with like when Stallone or Schwarzenegger or one of those guys does like, or like Bruce Willis does like an old man revenge flick. Like this is,
or what's his name, the guy who's the worst at it, Clint Eastwood.
Oh yeah, or yeah, like this actually feels like, I mean, because like because like I said, he's like, it's good. I liked it a lot. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Peter Pan and Wendy, I didn't see. Did you see that?
Yes, and we talked about it.
Oh yeah, we did.
Remember, we did, and I said I liked the changes. I liked that they gave the female characters more agency. Was the writing great? No. Once again, is it for kids? Yes. So like, what am I expecting here? Like it's a young adult. Right? Like, I wouldn't go back and read Twilight and be like,
oh, yeah,
this is horrible drivel. Like, even back when it came out, I didn't think it was that great. But, like, you can't criticize a young adult thing as an adult saying that it doesn't have the depth and complexity that you wanted. But they actually did a good job of introducing some elements, playing with the characters of Hook and Pan a little more.
Yeah.
I like what they did with Tiger Lily because they didn't just remove her. They didn't blank slate the fact that there are just Native Americans in this world,
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, and they put her and her tribe in a meaningful but smaller way. So, like, I thought that was good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, we're into May.
Yep.
Did you see Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
Absolutely. I loved it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
It's funny because, like, that is apparently, like, one of the best Marvel movies, apparently,
No.
just, like, in general, is what everyone says.
No,
and, like,
disagree.
Everyone's like, you should be seeing that one. And I'm like, I am not invested in the Guardians characters like everybody else. And, like, even if it's a good story, like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
Especially now knowing, like, oh, it's just a Guardians story. Like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it is just a Guardian story. It's kind of, you can tell from the get-go that James Gunn was wrapping it up, right? Like, you can really tell, like, every character gets an important moment. Every character gets a little homage. All of the stuff that could have been fleshed out over the course of maybe 2 or 3 more films gets done up real quick, and I was fine with it. Like, whatever. It's, yeah. It was good. It wasn't great. That's it. You know, like it's done. Cool.
I'm not gonna see it, so
I'm gonna say the same thing about it that I said about finishing doing the Addams Family musical. Glad to have done it. Glad it's over. Like,
love it.
yeah,
Here's a great movie this year that I think we both loved.
yeah, hit me.
Fast X.
I did not see it.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, so
Okay.
here's the only thing that I want to say about this movie.
Just send me a highlight reel of
Of the monsters
Jason
fighting?
Momoa.
Oh, okay.
No, of Jason Momoa.
Okay, he's the best part of that movie.
Yeah, just send me a highlight reel of Jason
we-
Momoa in that movie, and I'll be cool with it.
We talked about this movie, I'm pretty sure, or I did at least. And
did.
My favorite part about this movie, right? Like, again, I weirdly like the Fast and Furious movies. Like, they're my guilty pleasure. 100%, they're my guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
But my favorite part about this movie is when I was sitting in theaters and like I had taken some gummies, but I just remember at the end of the movie, you know, Dom is at the bottom of this like ravine where there's like a dam and he's got his son and he just watched the plane of all the other main characters crash and burn. Spoilers alert.
Yeah.
And the guy that he was helping him is actually against him, and it's the guy that's playing Reacher, and Jason Momoa is there, and I'm just like, wow, wouldn't it be really fucking funny if like they just ended the movie, like just not even like really set anything up, they're just they're just literally panning around all the stuff I said, and I was like, wouldn't it just be funny if they just like ended the movie? And then I'm not kidding, 5 seconds later, it just cuts to black and the credits roll, and I was like, oh, okay, so we're doing it like this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think you know, I'm not into the Fast universe. Like, it's for me like, if you put the movie on and we were hanging out, I'd probably watch it and talk at the same time. You know, like I'd probably be like, "Oh yeah, huh, that's funny." Like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. Nice stunt." You know, whatever. And then I'd probably make fun of it.
Honestly, you know, I don't watch these movies. Like, I don't rewatch any of them. The only one that I've rewatched outside of theaters is Fast Five. It's Fast Five. But the funny thing is, dude, is we could sit here. Like, we could record another episode after this, and I could be like, all right, I'm going to walk you through all 10 movies start to finish, and I guarantee you I wouldn't miss a beat because they live in my head rent-free.
Dude, I rewatched part of Tokyo Drift this year, I think it was.
Oh.
Because I was, once again, like, I'm just tired. I'll turn whatever on while I'm falling asleep. It doesn't matter. But I remember looking at the screen and just being like, what a weird universe.
It is a weird universe.
Yeah, just what a weird universe this was.
Yep. And it's just easy to remember them because they're so, at the end of the day, like, they're such a plain plot line.
I feel like when I see them, I'm like, I don't call them good or bad. I'm just kind of like, all right, cool, whatever. If you were to press me for an opinion, I'd probably lean toward bad because there's more bad moments than good in my opinion. Like, the moments that are good are just like,
there's not
kitschy,
very many.
Cheesy, tropey action things. Yeah, that's it.
All right. I'll move on from Fast X. We'll be talking about that again next year when the second part comes out and I go see it.
Great. Can't wait.
The Little Mermaid. I never saw that. Did you?
Loved it. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah. Good. Very good. Spoiler alert, the only, like, if you haven't seen The Little Mermaid, the only big change is that Ariel, once again, she has a little more agency in this film. I like that both times I saw Disney films that were kind of reimagined this year, they didn't make it that the female's always right. They didn't make it that she was like unbeatable, powerful, whatever it was. They just gave her more agency, and that was it. And like, that's cool. Like, I like that we're adapting these stories over time to give women more agency. And I think when we do that without making it too overt, Rings of Power, that it's a good thing. No, and like, I went back and I tried to watch Rings of Power recently, and I was like, oh yeah, this is bad.
I haven't watched it.
This was bad. It's beautiful. And there are multiple scenes in every episode that make an entire watch through of it worth it. But they're much like I would be critical of, say, the Fast and the Furious movies. There are more bad moments than good, right? So like, at the end of the day, bad. But if you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you can probably stomach your way through it.
I'm still trying to get build up myself to watch the Lord of the Rings movies for the second time. I've only ever seen those movies once, and I'm still trying to like.
It was also really good to. I just rewatched them for like, I don't know, the umpteenth millionth time. But like, it was really good in that show. Spoiler alert! They show Mount Doom becoming Mount Doom, and that scene alone is amazing.
I'll YouTube it.
Okay.
June. Arguably just because of the movies that came out this year, I would say this is probably in the top 10 of the best movies of the year.
Oh,
Spider-Man,
Barbie.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yep.
I mean,
Good.
so here's the only thing I'm going to say about this movie because
Mm-hmm.
it's good, but given the state of what we know about what's supposed to be the third movie in this franchise, and the
Yeah.
fact that it could just never happen because of the animators that quit, and the long delay, and the fact that there's no information about it, it could either just not happen, which would make this movie bad because then it would end on a
Yeah.
cliffhanger, never resolved, or
Yeah.
the next one they could fumble it.
Yeah, true.
So
Um,
we'll see.
yeah, I thought it was good just because like it was entertaining. It was a little long, but all the parts in it were good. Nice little cameo
Yeah,
from
I
Donald
liked it.
Glover, like cool moments. Yeah.
This movie, Transformers: Rise of the Beast, I want to talk about and what's my jam because I watched it like yesterday in preparation for this because it was one of the movies that came out this year that I was like, I should watch that because I've seen all the other Transformers movies.
Yeah.
And dude,
Just say good, bad, or just say good or bad.
so bad it's good. So
Okay,
bad it's
good.
funny.
Nah. All right.
So bad it's
Okay.
funny.
All right. Keep going.
Jake Extraction 2, did you see that?
No, I didn't even see Extraction
so
1.
I watched the first 10 minutes of this movie
Mm-hmm.
and then I turned it off.
Yeah. No, it's once again, like you're talking about a universe that I just don't care about. And like
Yeah.
we live in a time in the world where there are so many stories that could be consumed at any given moment. And I think going back into what I was saying, like part of the reason I'm happy to get back into reading is like it's slower, it's more intentional, and I'm just doing one at a time, versus consuming like 5 different stories every week, which I did a lot this year. And I think like looking back on it, I don't think that's always great,
Yeah.
Like
No.
how much of it do you really remember? Like there are probably like 5 things that I saw this year, maybe 10 that I like really remember, really loved,
I remember, see, that's funny because I'm trying to, hopefully sooner than later direct my own short film. Like
Yeah.
I remember everything I consume when it comes to movies because if they're bad, I remember them for what not to do. Speaking of what not to do, The Flash, June 16th, 2023. I don't remember. Did you see The Flash? It's DC.
No.
Okay, so
Skip.
I did.
Pass.
I saw it.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing. Hindsight, it's not as bad as everyone makes it out to be. It's not the worst film of the year. Like there's way worse movies that came out this year, like Transformers or other movies that we'll talk about. The Flash is not good, but I will say that like for what it is, it's not as bad as people are saying. It's bad, but like the hate it's getting, I feel like, is from people that like didn't see the movie and just are like, oh, it was bad. Okay, like fuck this movie. You know what I mean? Like bandwagoners. You should watch it like before you say it's bad because some people actually like this movie.
Okay.
They're psychos, but they do. Did you see Elemental?
Yeah.
What did you think? I didn't see it.
I saw it at the drive-ins and it was okay.
Okay.
It was fine.
Cool.
Yep.
So
once again, kids movie, right?
So you say good?
It was good. Yeah.
Okay.
It was fine.
Did you see
It
No
was another
Hard?
Pixar film. It was like, what if elements had feelings and dreams and aspirations and bad relationships with their parents, right? Like that's it.
Yep. Did you see No Hard Feelings? The Jennifer Lawrence.
Yes.
And what did you
Good.
think? I didn't see it.
It was good.
It
was funny.
I mean, I've heard that people think it's funny. So like, I mean, it's just the plot to me. I'm like, I don't think I would enjoy that. Like, I don't find that kind of stuff funny. So I'm just not gonna.
It was good. It was funny. It was over. That's it.
Yeah, I don't want to go into a movie that I'm like, oh, I don't like this type of comedy because then I typically just don't enjoy it, and that's not fair.
I mean, it's actually pretty funny. It's not bad.
Good. This is in my top 5 of my favorite movies this year.
Hit me.
Asteroid City. I fucking love.
Okay.
I love Wes Anderson. This movie feels like a play. Like that's what I love about his movies, that they feel like a stage play. And like I just think that this movie is absurd and crazy and fun and silly and great.
Mm-hmm.
And it's awesome.
Okay.
Did you see it?
No.
It's
Not
on.
yet.
It's on Amazon Prime right now for free.
I will have to watch it.
I would be curious. I don't know. I'd be curious because like I think people either hate this movie or they love it.
I always like Wes Anderson films. Like I leave them because they're artsy,
Yeah,
right? So I
dude.
leave them. Whenever I'm consuming good art, I'm generally happy already. So,
Yeah. Okay, here we are. This is the movie that I put at the top of my I need to watch this before we record this because we talked about it, we joked about it.
Okay.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, baby.
Oh, you did
I watched it last night, and I gotta say,
it's bad.
I liked it.
Oh.
Surprise! Okay, look, here's the thing.
I didn't think you were going to say that too.
I like Indiana Jones, and I recently this year rewatched all 3, skipped the 4th because that one is bad. Like I don't think that's good.
Okay. That's Crystal Skull. Or whatever?
That's Crystal Skull. But
I still have never seen it anyway. So.
This feels like an Indiana Jones movie. I don't think the plot is the most solid. I think the MacGuffin is kind of an interesting. I at first when I was watching this, I was like, this MacGuffin is kind of stupid. But I'm just gonna go ahead and say spoiler alert. The end of this movie, and at first I was like, oh, I don't like this ending, but now I do.
Okay.
The Dial of Destiny is this little dial that the mathematician Archimedes made, and
of course
it can detect fissures in time.
Yeah.
Which
so you can go back in time.
Well, so that's what they think, right? And so the Nazis want it. Because the Nazis are the villain again, and it's got Boyd Holbrook, who's the villain from Logan, who's fantastic. Mads Mikkelsen plays the main Nazi villain; he's fantastic. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is fantastic. Like, so it's got a great cast, and the MacGuffin they want it because they think they can go back in time and like win World War II.
Yeah,
but at the end of the movie, you find out that actually all it does is detect time fissures that return to Archimedes' time. So you go all the way back. So this movie ends with... Hang on. Hold on. Because I was thinking the same thing. This movie ends with the Nazis and Indiana Jones flying back to the siege of Syracuse in 214 BCE. And at first, I'm like, this is stupid. Like, time travel, Indiana Jones is now back. But they land, villains are defeated, and they're getting ready to leave because you can return through the wormhole fissure thing, because it hasn't closed yet, which they've already, they established very well how the rules of this stuff work. So I'm like, okay, you got some time here, we need to hurry up. And Indiana Jones has been shot, he's old, and this movie, does a really good job of being Indiana Jones is old now. He can't do what he used to do, but he is still gonna try. And, it works.
Indiana Jones as presented by the AARP. Okay,
basically, yep. And so he's like, I'm gonna stay. You guys go back to the future, I'm gonna die here because this is history. And I at first I was like, this is stupid. Why is? But then I was like, oh, Indiana Jones has studied history his entire life, and everything has been related back to the Christianity roots of the olden times and Greek and things like that. And so to him, he's like, I'm dying, and I can sit here and look at history as I fade away. Yeah. And this is the stuff that I spent my entire life trying to protect, and now in my final moments, I get to witness it. But his goddaughter, played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, is like, no, fuck you, you're coming back to our time. And then it has almost a second ending where it's just it kind of wraps up really nicely, because a big point of this movie that I wasn't expecting was Indiana Jones grieving the loss of his son in Vietnam.
Oh, you mean
Mutt.
Yeah.
And I was really curious,
he died off screen,
but
it's really been weighing on me.
I mean, honestly,
whatever.
I'm a big Indiana Jones fan, and I gotta admit, I actually enjoyed this one. Will I watch it again? No, but I'm glad I watched it.
It's I love how in the Indiana Jones universe, it's always somebody from BC or just on the other side of AD figured out something that no one else has ever figured out since. Nobody else in the world figured out that there were time fissures. It's just and it's, the films are science fiction is where I'm really going with this. Indiana Jones films are science fiction action, right?
I can see that.
And that's what it is. But then there's the mysticism about it. But I love that this is a universe where Archimedes, who existed in a time where he was, I don't think Archimedes was Christian. He was just a philosopher,
He
right?
was just a mathematician.
He was just a mathematician. And then there are time fissures, but also like you can open up a chest and God will kill people
Yeah.
for you. You know, like
I love it.
what a fucking wacky zany world. to
I
live
know,
in.
and that's why I like it, because it's also grubby as fuck, though.
Yeah. Well, then also like the way that you're explaining it, this is just Raiders of the Lost Ark again, right? Because the Nazis are like, we have figured out a plan, and then they get there and they're like, our plan is not what we thought it was, and it's like, all right.
The Nazis are the villains in every other movie, 1, 3, and 5.
They'd be such better villains if it didn't turn out that their plans were fucking stupid.
Well, okay, I
right?
will admit, the nice twist to the Germans' plan in this one is...
Next time we will get the Holy Grail and live forever.
Well, this guy actually wants to go back in time, and he was going to kill Hitler and take his place. Because
I'm going to be worse than Hitler.
basically.
Like,
all right, we're in July now.
all right, go.
Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Did not.
I need to, because I like those movies.
So did not. That's
Did
it.
not. Barbie, good. I liked
okay.
it. I liked it a lot.
Okay.
Oppenheimer, still haven't seen.
Yep. Same.
Talk to Me.
Have not seen, want to see.
I saw half of it, and it was good,
Okay.
and then I had to leave the theater.
I heard it was good.
Haunted
So I got-
Mansion.
Skip.
Bad.
Yeah, did not see. Skip.
I did see it. It was bad.
Why did it come out in the summer?
Why did it come out on Disney Plus?
Skip.
Weird.
Yeah, pass.
August.
Wasn't spooky season. Wasn't time.
Wasn't spooky season. All right, August. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
Good.
Good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I've actually watched it a second time, and I still think it's good. It's
Good,
very
not
much
great, not bad. Good.
Yeah, I mean,
Once again, kids movie. Like there's so many things that I think from this past year that I'm looking back, and as you're going through it and we're just saying good, bad, or like didn't see, I'm like, I saw a lot of kids movies this year.
yeah, you did.
Like-
So did I, though.
I really did, but I was also with kids a lot this
Yeah,
year.
makes
So
sense.
That makes sense.
Oh my God, one of the best movies of the year.
What?
Meg to the Trench.
Did not see.
Good. So good. So good it's bad. So bad it's good.
Probably once again, it's a universe that I have no stake in. So
Yeah, but you should watch it.
If and when you're probably gonna make me watch it at some point, and I'll just accept it.
Yep.
Like, that's it. That's all I got.
Actually, I got another movie for you to watch other than
Hit
that
me.
one. We got to get to it first.
Okay.
Did you ever watch The Last Voyage of the Demeter? The Dracula's on a boat?
No, but I do want to see that.
I kind of want to watch it too.
Yeah,
Blue Beetle I didn't see. I doubt you did.
I did.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was good.
Okay.
Once again, it's a kid action film about a kid who becomes a superhero, and it's not bad. That's it. That's all I got. Yeah.
Gran Turismo.
Oh, I want to see that. Did not see.
It's out on Prime, I think. I haven't seen it yet either.
Cool.
All
I'll
right,
watch it.
we're into September.
Hit me.
Equalizer 3. I didn't even know there was an Equalizer 2.
The watch is back.
Haunting in Venice. Good.
Oh, good. Too long.
Too long.
And people need to stop adapting the Agatha Christie plays where the first person you're introduced to is the culprit.
It makes it a
Like,
little too easy to
it's
guess.
not that much of a twist. Yeah.
Nah.
Like and not only that, like I've now that I've been in 2 different Agatha Christie plays, and I've seen multiple Agatha Christie movies and Poirot movies, like now that I've seen them and I get how she wrote mysteries, it's very, very easy for me to be like, oh, okay. But it's also very easy for me to see some of the more, like, Poirot sometimes isn't a great detective and is just free associating and gets lucky.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I knew that you were blackmailing yourself because who would have done X, Y, and Z? Like, and you're like, those didn't really connect, bro.
I'm one of my favorite types of movies are like murder mysteries where like the detective comes in like Knives Out style. And I really want like a good murder mystery that's an actual mystery with a character like Blanc.
Poirot.
No, like Blanc from
like Benoit Blanc,
from Knives Out. Like
I
agree
like
with
that
you.
too.
Like I don't like the Agatha Christie Poirot movies. God, I can't speak because like
Detective Poirot.
for me, like him as a detective, I don't find him that interesting. Like
Call him Detective Parrot.
Detective Parrot's not that interesting. I like Sherlock. I like detectives that have a little sass, a little something to their personality, and he's boring.
Sherlock Holmes in the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle books does not have that much sass. By the way,
I just like
that
Robert
is
Downey
new
Jr.'s
Sherlock
version.
Holmes. Yes, new
What can I
Sherlock
say?
Holmes. Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes has sass.
I
Okay.
can't wait for the third one. Okay, here we go.
I know.
This movie I
Okay.
watched this weekend because I figured
man.
I needed to. Expendables.
Oh yeah. I have not seen that.
All right, I'm just gonna talk about this one real quick.
Okay.
I
Real quick. 30 seconds.
No, not that quick. Hold on. Let me just get this out because I feel like this has to be said somewhere. The first Expendables is a good time. It's a good time. Let's be honest for a second. If you like action movies and like you like any of the action cast, whether it's Statham, Stallone, Terry Crews, Jet Li, Dolph Lundgren, the good cast of the Expendables, right? You can enjoy that movie for what it is. The second one, it falls apart a little bit. The third one is awful. And I was like, this fourth one is probably going to be bad, but maybe it won't.
Yeah.
I don't understand how this movie even got made. Full spoilers. For one, there is an entire scene in the beginning that only exists to remind you that Jason Statham's character and Sylvester Stallone's characters are supposed to be the bestest of friends that you've ever met in your entire life. And then immediately after that, Stallone dies.
Yeah.
So that way that you can be motivated. But here's the problem with this entire movie, right? I can get down with, okay, Stallone's dead and the team wants revenge. I can get down with that it's kind of Statham's fault that the bad guy got away in that first mission where Stallone died. Yeah. Even though the bad guy literally teleported from the vehicle he was in to a sniper rifle that can shoot down a plane, and then he was in a helicopter leaving. But the thing is, the whole plot of this movie is that Stallone, 25 years ago, was a part of another Expendables team that got set up. And
the original Expendables. We were very expendable.
And then
the fourth incarnation of the Expendables team.
So that mission that 25 years ago, a lot of people died or whatever, and there was a villain called Ocelot, like weird name. Whatever. And the file
that's an animal. Okay.
The file on this guy Ocelot, who has been committing terrorism for 25 years, was sealed until everybody that was on that team 25 years ago is dead. So the only file that can help identify who this guy is sealed by every government agency involved until everyone is dead, even though the person that they need to identify is still alive and committing terrorism. But okay.
Well, that was in Ocelot's fake will.
Of course.
It said he had a will reading and he was like, only when everyone is dead may you open this file.
So flash forward. So Stallone's dead. And Megan Fox is in this movie, by the way.
Cool.
And so she takes over the Expendables team, and Statham is out. So you have two teams that are obviously going to go for revenge and then meet at the end, right? That's what they're setting up. And that's what they do, right? They go their separate ways. Well, Megan Fox's team gets kidnapped on a boat because they parachute into a boat. The Expendables team, and by the way, all these guys are old because Dolph Lundgren's got a prescription scope, and people have to stretch before they fight and stuff.
Oh my god!
And so Megan Fox's The Expendables team gets captured. Jason Statham comes onto the boat and starts killing everybody. There's like a 20-minute sequence of just Jason Statham like just fucking people up, and that's the best part of the movie. It's just him. It's just martial arts Jason Statham. Like it's good. Like I like it.
That part was made for Odie. Yeah.
But okay, so this is where the movie just kind of I'm speed running a lot of this, but this is so they're on
You're
this.
You're not speed running. We're like 4 minutes.
I know. Okay, I'm sorry,
Odie.
but like because this is I need to make sure I set the scene.
This is why I said 30 seconds.
Just hang on. Well, if you would stop interrupting,
like, we're just
if you would
do
stop
good,
interrupting,
bad.
if you would stop interrupting, I mean that would be. I'm just saying. Okay, so this is all to set up that the CIA agent that the Expendables team is working on turns out to be Ocelot, right? Oh my God, he's the bad guy, right? But here's the plan. He has a nuke on this ship that he has disguised is loose, as an American aircraft carrier by putting cardboard cutouts of airplanes and American flags and making it look like an aircraft carrier, though it's very much a cargo ship. And he's going to sail it to Russia and then set off a nuke to start World War III because he's going to be profitable. Here's the thing. While this is all going down and once all the Expendables are back together, there's a dead switch for the nuke. He throws it overboard. After the only transport on the entire boat for him to escape the nuclear blast is blown up, he takes the only device that can stop the device and throws it over the ship. And then when there's only 3 minutes left on the bomb timer, he still somehow thinks that if he kills Jason Statham, who's the only person left on the boat, that'll somehow still make his plan work, even though, and he's gonna get rich, even though he has no way to get off the fucking boat that has the nuke. Dude.
Oh, that's the thing about the movie that you just explained for 4 minutes that had a bunch of problems in it? That's the thing?
No, because then it gets worse. Because then, as he's about to fight...
It gets worse?
Yes, because then there's literally there's the worst dialogue in an action movie where he goes, come down here and fight me on the streets like a man, old school style. And they toss their guns over the boat. As soon as they square up, Kevin, as soon as Ocelot and Jason Statham, this is the man that killed his best friend Barney, he's about to get his revenge. Stallone just shows up and shoots him with a helicopter, and then they fly off and the movie ends.
This is old man revenge porn.
Dude, did you... Stallone, who died in the first 10 minutes... He might be old,
but he's fucking tough.
Hold on. Stallone, who died in the first 10 minutes, comes back at the very end on a helicopter
I heard you.
and shoots the main villain, and then him and Jason Statham are like, where have you been? I liked you better when you were dead. You need a shower. Credits.
Great.
Yeah. Good movie.
Wow.
Moving on.
I'm definitely not watching that because I'm not getting that 5 minutes of my life back either. So
sorry. Well,
Expendables,
I needed to.
Without, I am collateral damage from that movie's viewing.
That is the worst movie I've seen this year.
Yep.
And I only watched it because I wanted to make sure I keep with my seeing every Jason Statham movie. But now I'm questioning. I'm questioning that.
That's bad.
End of September, because I don't see anything else in September. Oh, Expendables was in September. The Creator, I thought it was really good. I know you thought it was kind of average.
Oh, yeah.
I liked it.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say it was bad. I'm going to say all the reasons that you loved it, yes, those were good. Did that counteract the fact that like the movie as a whole was like not well put together and didn't tie together and the message was really disjointed? No.
That's fair. That's a fair point. I mean, I can see both sides of that coin. For me, it really hit. For others, not so much.
Well, it's like it's like some of the other movies that like I've seen in the past few years where I'm like, oh, visually that was brilliant, but I did not like Valerian and the Thousand Planets, City of like that was visually brilliant, but not a good movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I mean, and also you and I don't always agree on movies, anyways, which is what makes this dynamic interesting.
We should not disagree on movies all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, or agree. Did you see Saw X?
No,
I did.
Once again, I'm done with that. Like, once something has a bad run, I'm kind of done with it. Like, I don't... Someone has to be in my life that goes, no, but this one's actually good and we're going to watch it right now for me to get back into it. And Saw had enough bad films where I was like, no.
I don't think I can tell you this one's worth... Like, the first Saw movie is... I think the first Saw movie has a good message, but my problem with... I've only seen the first Saw movie, which is why I was like, well, maybe I'll see this and then maybe it'll make me want to watch the second one. But, like... I don't like torture porn, so...
The first Saw movie doesn't even... Like, I went back and watched it, and it doesn't even have a good message. Like, the first Saw movie, like, there's that guy who's, like, a total wild card in the entire scenario who, like, kidnapped the, like, family.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean message.
I meant a nice twist.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, fuck. Woo, not message. The Saw movies... Dude, there's one of the Saw movies...
They never have a good message.
He, like, literally puts somebody in a trap because they took antidepressants. Like, no, it does not... Like, the main villain is objectively a bad person.
Teach you to live if you're into
My bad. Killers of the Flower Moon, I know neither of us have got to see yet.
No, I want to see it so bad, but I'm waiting for streaming.
Five Nights at Freddy's?
Did not.
I did, and I saw it twice, and I gotta admit, I think I told this to you when it came out, but like, I ended up having to watch, because my partner wanted me to, an hour and a half like lore video, and then we went and saw the movie, and then we went and saw it a second time with our friends. Look, it's a bad movie, but I enjoy it.
Okay. Dude, we're entering the time of the year where like I was in the thick of Addams Family rehearsals.
It's gonna get scarce.
A lot of work. Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of these tours. We're in November.
Yeah.
And
November. I don't.
Yeah. Here we go for November. I didn't see the Marvels.
I'm not seeing the Marvels.
No, I didn't see Michael Fassbender's The Killer.
I did see that.
And
one of the best movies I saw all year.
Okay,
actually.
I'm putting it on my list.
Fincher.
I'm putting it on my list to watch this week.
Yeah, David Fincher, like so great, and it's like, because it's not an action film, but it it's a drama about. Yeah, it's just really good.
Okay.
And like,
I'm gonna put it on my list.
yeah, the
I want to
beats
watch
in it
it.
are good, and it's not fast paced, but it's good. Like,
Okay.
yeah,
I
the
like
tempo's good.
I like David Fincher, so
Me too.
I really
Fight
wanted to
Club,
watch
baby.
it. I just didn't get a chance to because I was deep into my job at the time.
Also, Michael Fassbender does such a good job playing a character who's relatively isolated.
I love
in
him. I
this
love
film.
Michael
Like,
Fassbender.
yeah,
Like,
and you're following everything through his lens, and it's very like I like how straightforward the film is. It's very good.
I like that.
Yeah.
Hunger Games. I never saw it.
Oh, bad.
Okay. Cool.
Way too long, and there's like I told you already. There's so many things that happen in that movie that happen for no reason.
Mhm.
Like it happened. Like there are things that happen. I'm like, what was the motive there? And then why does that even matter? Like 5 minutes from now.
Yep. I've heard nothing but like mediocre to bad things
It's
about
bad.
it.
Yeah.
Saltburn.
The actors were pretty.
Yeah. Right. Ooh.
That was it.
Saltburn. I want to watch, but I haven't gotten to yet.
Oh, I want to see that too. Yeah.
Napoleon. I have no desire to watch.
Oh, I do want to see Napoleon.
Let me know if it's worth checking out.
It's gonna be an art house expose biopic. Like whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, those aren't my
I'm-
favorites, honestly.
I'm into it, but I already know the whole story of Napoleon already. So what I'm interested in when I watch it is like, all right, cool. Are the battle scenes cool? Is Joaquin Phoenix good?
I
Right?
heard that it's like
are
wildly inaccurate though, and
the-
Ridley Scott was literally like, "I don't care if it's inaccurate, it's my movie,"
yes,
and I'm
yes,
like,
it
"All right,
definitely it definitely is more fiction than historical for sure.
man." Did you see Wish?
No,
No, okay.
that flew under my radar, and
Flew under everybody's radar.
I'm not taking care of kids every day anymore, so there's no reason I would watch it.
All right, we are in December. The big movie that was released on the 1st that for Americans was Silent Night, which we already talked about, and I'm like, I will not see it because it has a bad message. That's the one where like the guy's kid gets killed by a stray bullet, so then he just goes around shooting everybody in sight.
I didn't see that.
But Godzilla -1 came out.
I need to see that,
dude.
Did not see it.
The more I think about it, and I see some people's point where it's like it's overhyped, it's not as good as people think. But one of my favorite parts about Godzilla is if I think the human characters need to be compelling because otherwise it's boring, and you kind of see that with the later Godzilla legendary movies, the ones like Godzilla King of Monsters and stuff. But this like I said when we talked about it, like the main character has believable PTSD, and I think this is one of the best angry boy versions of Godzilla. Like there are moments in this movie that I feel like are legitimately like tense because you don't know where he's at.
That's good. See, I like that, and I'm looking forward to watching it. I heard it was really good. I'm gonna throw 2 movies in there because I know they might not be on your list, but
That was the last one, actually.
Okay, cool. Waitress the musical got released for screening, which
You mentioned
technically
that.
counts as a movie. It was shot for theater. Really good. Like
too.
absolutely, actually solid. Good. It's a good movie. It has a really good message. In an era where we're talking about like tailoring messages for multiple crowds, I think that there's a message for guys in this show. In that like both of the male characters are not really redeemable until one of them is at the end. But there is a really good male character in it. Not all of them are bad, and all of them are imperfect people. And then at the end, the lady ends up making, like the main character ends up making a really great independent decision that takes into account all of the people in her life. And I thought that was just a really nice note to end things on. So it was good.
Nice.
Yep. And then The Boy and the Heron.
Oh, I need to see that.
Which we've already talked about in depth.
And I haven't seen it yet.
I think overall, as a film goes, like if you were to ask me, is this a good movie? I would say no. And if you ask me, would you watch this again? I would say yes. Like
I believe that.
It's a rare case where I'm going to say like people are going to give this movie high praise, but it is like so all over the place and weird. And I don't think that it's like, I think that it's a brilliant, beautiful film with great pacing that doesn't make 100% sense. Like
that's fair.
Yeah.
It's on my list, but I probably have to wait for streaming at this point because I am gonna catch up on movies at home and then get ready because I think our next episode is gonna be what's coming out in 2024.
Yeah.
Which will give me an idea of what I'm in for because I am going to see one new release every single week. Sometimes I might even see 2 or 3.
Good. Here's my question.
Yes.
Are we going to watch Rebel Moon?
So here's what I was.
Are we going to
Yes,
watch it?
I'm going
Okay.
to. It comes out It comes out this Friday, and I'm going to watch it because here's the thing.
Do I have to watch it?
I
I looked at the poster and I was like, this is not looking
okay.
good.
So here's what I'm thinking, Kevin. I think we should do one of our previous attempts at watch a movie
Yeah.
while a little high.
Being a little baked, yeah.
And
I'm into that.
And I think for Rebel Moon, because neither of us have seen it, and it could go legitimately either way. Because with Zack Snyder, I'll be honest, I don't like Man of Steel, and I don't like Batman v Superman.
Yeah, me neither.
But I like Watchmen. I like 300. And
Yeah, but okay, hold on though. He did. That's okay. The Watchmen is a shot-for-shot remake of a graphic novel.
Yes.
If he had fucked that up, that would be 100% on him.
Yes.
Not fucking up something that you didn't really write is like, in my mind, not the mark of a great director.
Well, that's what I was
Like,
going to say.
It's someone who could do something correctly. And 300, same thing, right?
Well,
Frank Miller wrote that.
So that's
like, once again, he's proven that he can take other people's properties and not always, but sometimes not fuck them up.
Well, that's what Man of Steel and Batman v Superman is. Because my next actual point was going to be his version, like his movie that I've seen where he wrote the script is Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan. So
No, it wasn't
here's
that good.
but I did like his Justice League, but again, that's adapting other source material. So Rebel Moon is supposed to be, from what I can tell in his words, like his Star Wars. And as somebody who loves Star Wars and is very hit or miss on Zack Snyder, this is going to go either I'm going to be like, this is fucking awesome, or this is fucking garbage.
Somebody sent me a picture that was the poster, and it said, "Fine, I'll go make my own Star Wars with blackjacks and hookers."
Yeah.
And I was like, "All right, that seems accurate."
It is. So I think
All
we
right.
should. I think we should watch it. I'm going to watch it on Friday.
I'll watch it this weekend, like this upcoming weekend, just because why not? But like,
I'll write down my
ultimately,
notes.
No promises.
Well, either way, I'm going to do it because I'm curious.
Yeah, no promises from me.
Also, things that are coming out. Speaking of which, Reacher season 2 came out, and I know. Okay, so a lot of people call. Yes, I genuinely like Reacher, and here's why. I typically am not a fan of the whole. Here's an ex-military person. Here's all these skills. Yeah. He's also taller and bigger than everybody. And also he's the smartest person in the room. And also, like, he'll save you from being kidnapped. And also he'll shoot you.
Also the smartest person in the room?
Kinda. This version.
I'm not going to like it if that's what's going on. Like, I'm going to be like,
So, kind of. Sometimes when he's in the room with, like, I like this. When he's in the room with, like, regular cops, he makes them feel really stupid. But, like, other detectives can keep up with him. You know what I mean? Like,
that's fine.
Yeah. So Reacher in the books is basically, you know, he's former military. He was a former military investigator, and like now he's in the civilian world. His whole shtick is he doesn't have any possessions, and he just wanders around helping people. And the reason why Reacher as a show I actually kind of like is because, for one, the guy who plays Reacher, Alan Ritchson, I love. He was Thad Castle in Blue Mountain State. And I think he is an incredible actor, and I just love. Like, he's the kind of guy.
He's a good actor.
That, like, if I met him and I could ask him one question, I'd be like, "Can you just give me a hug? Like, you just look like you give incredible fucking hugs, man. Can I have one?" Like, and so this season, and you don't need to see the first season at all to watch this one. This season I like because the first season was a mystery. It was like, who's behind this? What's going on? Reacher's involved. All this stuff, right? Yeah. This season. It's like, oh, here was, like, you get some flashbacks, which I'm a fan of him in the military days with his military investigative team. And now, like, he's teaming up with some of them in the current day. So it's like a team up. And, like, he's like, I don't know, like, first 3 episodes are out. And if you like that kind of stuff, like I said, typically I wouldn't be a fan of somebody that can beat up everybody in the room.
Yeah.
But with him, I don't know. There's just I just kind of fucking like it.
Yeah.
I sometimes I just like watching a man tear through people.
Okay. I mean, dude, that makes sense. I mean, like, you like action films. Like, I'm not a huge action guy. Like, I can definitely, like, I can get down with an action film, but it's like if you give me the choice, I'm looking for like psychological thriller or absurd comedy. Like I'm going one extreme or the other. Really is where like I usually fall. Like I don't really fall on like the mundane humor or the everyday stuff or like action.
No, I agree with that. I mean, this is just I don't know. I'm not a usually like I said like it's a John Wick thing, and
Yeah.
I mean, but with this one. I don't know. It's a Prime show, and Prime
Mm-hmm.
can usually be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
and then Monarch, which I'm still watching
Whatever.
for some reason.
Yeah. Is that your jam? Was Reacher season 2 and Monarch?
And I watched Expendables, I watched Indiana Jones, and then I watched Transformers: Rise of the Beast. And the only thing I want to say about Transformers: Rise of the Beast, because I got out my rant on Expendables, was there was a moment in this movie. Pete Davidson voices a character. Spoilers.
Yeah.
This movie's
we
just
know that.
it's so
He
interesting.
voices the Mirage character, right?
So Mirage dies, right? And he
Okay.
dies protecting the main human person. And I was watching that scene, and I'm sitting right where I'm at now, looking to my right, and I watched Mirage die, and Peter Dinklage plays the villain, and I was like, oh man, like I already knew Mirage died, and I was like, okay, like I don't give a shit. And so I had a text message, and I looked down, and I'm not kidding, Kevin, because it was actually a message from you, I'm pretty sure. And I just looked at it. I didn't reply. I looked at it. So I'm talking maybe 5 to 10 seconds. I'm looking down.
Mm-hmm.
I looked back up, and the main human character is wearing Mirage as a robot suit, fighting other robots. And I was like,
God.
okay, I'm into this. And the rest of the movie from there was where I was, because I was baked, and like, a lot of this movie was already unintentionally funny. But then right after that scene, Bumblebee, who died earlier in the movie, jumps out of an airplane, and the song "Don't Call It a Comeback" starts playing, and he
my God.
Oh my God, it's so bad. I loved it.
Yeah.
I would never watch it again, but it was funny, and that's all I got to say. And that's my jams.
Okay, cool. My jam is that Sleep Token got new masks this week. That was a fucking trip. Yeah, dude. They played at the OVO in Wembley, and
oh wow.
And they got new masks. They announced it, and I'm so glad that I got tickets in the orchestra for fucking Radio City Music Hall, because now ticket sales, like when they had put the new masks on, they were like a new era, and like something's gonna happen next year where like I think they're gonna announce something big, or like like a bigger tour or whatever it is. But
I hope
like,
so.
They I'm just so pumped that I got those tickets to Radio City Music Hall when I did, because I was like, oh shit, they're doing something.
Aren't they going to Red Rocks?
That's my jam
too?
this week. That's my jam. What?
Aren't they going to Red Rocks?
Yeah, that's my jam this week. Is that Sleep Token is up to some like, what a cool band. They're taking like the momentum that they have and the publicity that they have and the new reach that they've found, and they're just doing something cool with it. And there's not like a million interviews going out. Like they're not doing crazy press kits all the time. They're not showing up on TV shows. Like they're just doing whatever it is that they're doing, and people are loving it. And then they're going, cool, we'll keep doing that. And I just love that about that band. I think that they're really good. My other jam this week is Fargo. Because season 5 is amazing. And I love Noah Hawley, who created and wrote the show. It's based off of the Coen brothers film of the same name, Fargo.
I've seen that.
You've ever seen that?
Okay.
So the first season is kind of like the original movie, but I think it's better. It's got Billy Bob Thornton and Martin Freeman. Yep. The second season is where it really starts to branch out. You have like Nicholas Offerman in the cast, and like now this season, all of a sudden, like you have all of these amazing actors. Like Steve from Stranger Things is in this, and he plays not Steve from Stranger Things. And like John Hamm plays a character that he's never played before. And like it's just cool seeing these people play different characters and seeing the way that they film it and the way that they set it up. And it's just, yeah, it's so fucking Fargo's really, really good. I could watch any season of that show again. I think I've watched season 1 twice, and I think I've watched season 3 twice, and that's it. But like, it's just so good. Like a big recommendation on Fargo. I love the Coen brothers. Like I just love that kind of movie.
They are hit or miss for me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not a No Country for Old Men, Big Lebowski kind of guy?
I love Big Lebowski.
Mm-hmm.
And I love No Country for Old Men, but I don't like The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Scruggs.
I wasn't a big fan of Hail Caesar.
Oh, I loved Hail Caesar.
I wasn't a fan. So, I mean, like I said, hit or miss. I mean, I think Big Lebowski is a good movie.
I love the Coen brothers, and I love like all the weird things that they do. Like it just like the dialogue that they write it's very unique. The way that they present scenes is very unique, and then I love what Noah Hawley's doing it with it, because it's just like I'm entertained the entire time. I'm laughing during dramatic moments that have punchy comedy. Like, yeah, it's just good.
No, I mean their
Cool.
writing is I do like their writing, but sometimes their stories just I'm like, yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Like,
It
isn't for everybody. Yeah,
Ugh,
100%. All right, cool.
fun.
How do you feel?
That was a lot.
That was a lot. There was a lot this year. I actually realized that I didn't watch as much as I thought I watched.
Me either. Looking at
which
this.
is good.
Yeah.
I
was gonna say this. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
No, you're good.
I was gonna say, I go through periods where I either, for movies specifically, I'll go through like a year or two where I'll watch some of the new releases, but I'll miss a bunch of them. And then I'll go through a year, which is the year I'm coming into, where I'm like, I want to watch everything.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually really excited this next year because I have no clue. Like when we go over the movies coming out next year, I genuinely don't remember what's coming out next year, except for King Kong versus Godzilla Part 2 or whatever, because I saw the trailer today. But that's it.
I keep looking at this next year, and I think part of the, you and I were talking about it before this podcast. I think part of the reason I've been really restless lately is I know next year is a different pattern for me than I've ever had before. Like I get to prioritize a full-time job the way that I never have had the opportunity to do, and there's a lot of opportunity for success and failure there. And like, I guess I can talk about it here. So I've had a lot of people reach out to me over the past couple months since the Addams Family wrapped up, asking me, because like as Addams Family was wrapping up, I was like, oh, this feels really good. I love doing these projects. Theater's awesome. I do have like a passion for this, and I really enjoy the process of bringing a character to life and like going through what it would mean to present the best version of that character with me playing them for an audience. Like I really enjoy that process. I love working with directors on it. I love working with other actors and figuring out how they're playing their character and how that might affect mine, or if we can do it a little bit differently. Like it's so cool and immersive, and what a great thing. And I expressed interest in a number of auditions, and since then have had a lot of people reaching out like, oh, you should come out for this, you should come out for this, you should come out for this. Like, and each one of those I've then looked at the rehearsal schedule, and I remembered where I was at with my rehearsal schedule with Addams Family in October and how much time it was taking, which is like, that's fine. It takes time to put on something good. But like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I just can't prioritize a project like that. And then the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, okay, well, what do you want to prioritize next year? And the answer for me was, I just want to put myself in better standing in life than I've ever been in, which might mean that I have less time on the docket for things like sitting down watching shows, like, and that's why that's another reason that I'm getting more into like literature now. And the schedule that I've been able to forge kind of it leverages work and workout time and study time over anything else. It's almost like I'm going into this weird like mid-30s college type situation again, where I'm like learning a lot and I'm very active, but I'm not necessarily going out and doing a lot of the things that I would normally do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's why honestly I'm kind of excited for next year, because I'm in a point where I'm ramping up for my short film. I'm gonna after a couple months of figuring out if I really wanted to move forward with the story and everything. So that's gonna be launching hopefully in the next few months. So like for me, I'm like, this is the year where I'm just gonna see everything good or bad, because I did this in 2021. So it's been a couple years, and in 2021, I just had a good time doing it. Like even seeing the bad movies, like, can be kind of an interesting experience.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I like that dynamic though. I think that's cool. I think because I either consume or I just don't consume at all. Like I either watch movies and TV shows, or like I don't do, or I'm just out like doing my own stuff, my own creative stuff.
Yeah. Same.
So
I've been having to remind myself to like watch things lately, and as I'm doing that, I'm like, is that worth it? Or maybe you should just like go do the other things that you should be doing. So I think that's where I'm leaning. Like who knows what next year is going to bring, but I definitely know a lot of cool and interesting people have come across my path, over the course of the past couple months. And like, it's forming up to be a really interesting and fun year in a very different way than it has been in a long time. Like, it's a whole other podcast, like for you and I to get back into this, but ultimately, like, I don't have an Xbox. I'm fine with that. I actually don't have a TV.
Can I tell you
right
something?
now. I don't have a TV.
My Xbox is in the closet in a box wrapped up in a suitcase because I was tired of being distracted by it.
Yeah, dude, I don't have like a TV right now. Like, I don't have anything other than like the books and my notebooks and the stuff that I need to go and show up and like do some combat training, So,
well, here's the beauty of me seeing everything that's going to come out next year. I will be able to tell you. I can tell you, hey, you should go see this one. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like, and I'm the kind of person that, like, if it's a movie, like if I saw, what's a movie I liked this year that I didn't love? The Creator, I encourage people to go see because I genuinely really liked that one. But like, like John Wick 4, right? Enjoyed that movie. But if somebody had been like, oh, how was it? Actually, my friend Mark did. He was like, oh, how was it? And I was like, it's good. And he's like, do you think I should go see it in theaters? And I was like, are you like a massive John Wick fan? And he was like, not really. I was like, then you could probably wait. Like, it was good. Don't get me wrong. But like, would I tell people that you need to go see this in theaters? No. So I'll let you know what you need to go see in theaters. Don't worry.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
First one on the list, Fast X Part 2.
No. I might not.
No.
Cut it.
It doesn't even come out next year.
We're done. No Fast X. Yeah, that's it. No, just a quick no on that one.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, are we pausing the recording? Oh, Jesus Christ. Hold on. Oh, no, you're good. I thought you meant